Hey guys, thanks for tuning into my channel. And if you don't know me, I'm Dr. Taylor Burrowes. Welcome. In today's video, I'm going to explain to you why you shouldn't be your partner's therapist in your relationship. Now, a lot of people get this confused because, of course, you're supposed to be supportive and kind and compassionate and understanding and accepting, all of those things that are the basis of being a really good helper. But that doesn't mean you should actually play the role of fixer or rescuer in your relationship. Absolutely not. This is not good because it creates a dependency in your partner, and you, in a way, are dependent on being needed. So you have to take a closer look as to why you are seeking that role out. Oftentimes it comes from a subconscious need to be needed. And when you need to be needed in that way, it's usually because you're insecure and you're afraid of abandonment. You're afraid if you're not absolutely needed to that extent, that your partner's not dependent on you, means you're at risk of losing them because you're dispensable. So it's a fear of abandonment ultimately. And if you look closely and you notice that you have anxiety about being with someone who doesn't need you but actually chooses to be with you, then you can really look at fixing that core wound of insecure attachment. Now, for your partner, if they are dependent and they're feeling incompetent or incapable of standing on their own 2 feet, are they that way because they learned to be that way? They learned to be helpless? Does it give them a sense of validation or a sense of comfort that they are getting from you taking care of them? Or do they actually need some outside help and you're basically placating them? You're making it easy for them to just get that support from you. If you are able to have boundaries and to say no when appropriate, and that doesn't mean literally always saying no, but just redirecting a situation so that they are not leaning on you too much, too intensely, and that they're able to seek their own treatment or their own help from an appropriate source. In some cases, that actually means seeking a therapist, or it could be seeking a health professional or a coach or some kind of person in that capacity, depending on what the problem is, if it's emotional, right? So you do want to be there, you do want to be able to listen, and you want to connect in a way that makes them feel accepted and understood, but that doesn't mean that you have to play therapist. And knowing where that line is really important. I'm feeling like I may not be equipped to help you handle this, or that I shouldn't be, like the one that you share all of this with. I'd be happy to go with you to seek some support from someone else who's trained to handle this. But if you perpetuate that role, it's probably going to create some kind of disconnection in the sexual polarity and in your sex life, because you're creating too much comfort in the relationship. That person, if it's the woman who's seeking emotional support to that extent where you're playing her therapist and you're trying to fix her behavior for her, is not someone who's going to be inspiring that sexual charge in the relationship and illuminating that sexual attraction and that core sexual polarity for the two of you to flourish in the bedroom. And so that may be a symptom of it's going too far. There's too much comfort. Another symptom could be that there's just resentment that's built up. You get really frustrated and impatient that they're always whining or crying or complaining to you, that they don't quite feel like they're an equal partner in this relationship, that they're more of a dependent because they are becoming emotionally dependent on you, but they may start to feel like a child. And that can go both ways, right? It's not just with the woman who could be emotionally vulnerable, but it can be the man who feels incompetent or incapable of carrying his own weight, and the woman having to pick up that slack over time is going to lose respect for her partner. It may appear differently when it's the man and when it's the woman, but the ultimate outcome is the same. You don't want to be the weak partner. You want to be able to stand your ground and to have an equal share of the responsibility in maintaining the relationship success, health, and vitality. And if you feel like you're leaning on your partner too much or for too long, then take the responsibility of finding a way of sorting yourself out, even if that means seeking a professional. Sometimes you can't do it on your own. It is your responsibility to say, you know what, I appreciate your support, but I think I'm going to need to find my own support system outside of the relationship, but I want it to be something that we both feel comfortable with and that helps us grow. So that would be my suggestion of how you approach that, and just making sure that you understand that It's still necessary for you to be supportive of each other and to be emotionally available and to listen and to help be solution focused with each other, but to make sure that you're not creating a dependent dynamic where one person is the fixer and the other person is the helpless person who needs to be rescued. In other words, the caretaker and the taker. Again, this is a bad relationship dynamic, one that is insecure at its core, even though it feels a bit symbiotic because you need each other in that way. I hesitate to call it codependency because codependency has been misinterpreted. Codependency is really interdependency. It's meant to be two capable adults coming together to love each other and take care of each other through their relationship. It's not meant to be that one person is in charge and one person is the vulnerable weak link. You each have different strengths and weaknesses that you're bringing into the relationship. There's not one person who is carrying the weight of the entire thing, and there's not one person in control, one person that needs all of the caretaking either. So that's why you should not be your partner's therapist. Definitely support them to get their own help if they need it, and to help them in ways that are appropriate for your relationship. I hope you liked this video, and if you did, give it a thumbs up. Press the subscribe button if you want to stick around for more videos in the future, and put any comments or questions you have below under the description, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks for watching.